All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Football Focus Weekly. I am the pet man, Matt Morrow. Very excited tonight to have a very special guest with us tonight. This gentleman has been a esteemed coach in several places, throughout the country. He's won several conference coach of the year awards. He's mentored some of the best players in the game of football, especially at the quarterback position. He is currently the head coach at Duke University, and his name is David Cutcliffe, and I'm sure you know him. And we're going to bring him on with us right now.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Marr. Appreciate that. Coach McClamrock, it's great to join you guys and talk about our favorite subject, football and football players, right? Here we go.
Absolutely, Coach. Absolutely. We got some great stuff lined up to ask you tonight. So, the first question I want to ask you is, a lot of our players and parents ask us, what do college coaches look for in a player? And what is it specifically that you look for in kids that you recruit to Duke University?
Yeah, let's talk about the intangibles first.
Okay.
Um, there are a lot of good athletes out there, a lot of good 40 times. People that can catch it, run it, throw it, tackle. What's going to separate you is going to be the intangibles. I would say I would start with consistency. When I'm looking at a player, um, if he runs 4.6, but he runs 4.6 about 50% of the time, the rest of it looks like he's about 4.8. I don't know how I can take a player like that and plan. If I have a guy that's 4.7, but he runs 4.7 100% of the time. And you can say that's effort, and it is to some degree, but it's consistency. The other thing that in sport, as you transition from high school to college, how does he respond to failing? You're going to fail more at every step that you move up and play at the next level. And if you got what I call an old dirt kicker, you remember the guy that couldn't throw a strike on the mound, and every time he got the ball back, he would kick the dirt. And I don't want a dirt kicker. I want a competitor that gets better when it gets tough. And those, how do you see that? Well, you see it in every aspect, from pregame warm up to I like our coaches to stay through the fourth quarter, win or lose, to see how hard they're playing then, what the circumstances are. And then let's not forget just being a winner off the field. Winning is an all the time thing. And so your habits are going to reflect whether you're a winner or not. If you've got bad academic habits, if you've got bad personal habits, if you're putting things out there on social media that aren't appropriate, uh, I, I mean, a lot of us talk about it, not just me, but we're going to drop you. So those intangibles create consistency, and great habits are where that's built, and that's how we've approached it since we've been at Duke, and how we've been able to turn around a program that people told me I was crazy to take the job. You can't win there. Well, you can, as long as you're taking the right kind of people.
Absolutely, and you have had some great successes there. Won a couple bowl games, and that formula has obviously done very well for you, Coach. Thank you for sharing that. That's a question we get a lot, from kids that are obviously looking to be recruited by coaches such as yourself. Now, of course, we're talking about high school football here tonight, and we understand that high school football is your first love,
Oh yeah.
and and we know that your son is also a successful high school football coach. Talk to us a minute about how special high school football is in your opinion, and what does it mean to you ultimately?
I can't even begin to put enough emphasis on teammates. I love it when I see people that have played together grow up together. I'm not a big fan of transferring for success. Um, I think that high school football is the best of the best when it comes to uh, being a great teammate, caring about the people you play with, growing up with each other. That was my circumstance myself. High school coaches that are so dedicated as teachers, dedicated as mentors, doing every little thing right. My son was he got a graduate degree from Duke and worked for us. And then he came to me. He had gotten married, and their first child was born here at Duke Hospital. And he said, "Dad, we're going to go." And he married his high school sweetheart from Oxford, Mississippi. We're going to go back to Oxford, and I want to coach and teach in high school. I hope you think I'm not settling. And I said, whoa, stop right there. What you're doing is settling for the most honorable title. And I think we all are this if we're good coaches, but as teacher, you're going to focus your life on teaching young people, then you are absolutely choosing the highest road. You're not settling for anything. I could not be more proud of you. He said, well, Molly and I don't want to move around the country, and we know that ultimately is what would happen in college football, and we want to have our children and raise them there. I had no idea they were going to have five. He's got five little boys. It's a house full, believe me. But they, I mean that as sincere as I can. And I tell people all the time that teacher, and I'm not just talking about coaches, teachers. When you go look at the New Testament, if you're Christian, you will hear often that Jesus is referred to as teacher. What a responsibility that is, what a great honor that is. And that's what exactly high school football is. And it's the purest form of football, of fun, of what it should be. It's not about business. And I don't want people to get into high school football thinking the only thing that matters is trying to get a scholarship. I understand that, but don't let that create a pressure. The pure joy of playing the game, and particularly with people you care about, is about as good as it gets.
That's a great way to end that segment right there, Coach. A lot of kids are so scholarship driven, they lose the fun aspect of it, and you can't do that because you only get to do this once.
And it's you're not a failure if you don't end up with a college scholarship at all. One of the things that I tell people, don't fall in love with money or success. It won't love you back. But you can fall in love with football. It will absolutely love you back. It will help you become who you can be at the very best parts of you. And what you become, no one will ever take away from you. All this gear and all of that stuff, people can take from you. They can't take who you become. And so, parents, celebrate them, sacrifice, hard work, teamwork, pushing yourself to the max. That's where the real value is. Scholarship or not, you're going to see your child go on and ultimately be very successful. And I think probably if you ask people, you want to be happy, you want to be wealthy, you know, I would hope most people would say happy. Um,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot more to that, and I get it. People go, "Well, you look at all the money you make." Well, I did my first college job, assistant. John Majors didn't believe in paying assistant coaches. He said he thought it would ruin you, wasn't
Oh
healthy
wow.
for you. I made under $4,000 a year when I went into coaching
Wow.
college football. I may have been the healthiest coach in all of America. If making too much money was unhealthy. And I really, I don't like that end of this business. That's why high school football is so pure to me. And I still stay in touch with guys that played for us at Banks High School in Birmingham, Alabama, have great relationships with them. And many of them have gone on to become teachers and coaches.
And that's what you like right there.
I'm proud of that,
Yeah.
believe me.
Yeah, and that's just passing on what you're teaching to them. They pass it on to the guys that they're teaching and coaching, and that's building a legacy. And
That's it.
ultimately that's what you want to do for sure.
That's it. It's not, I tell people all the time, legacy is important to me, not ego. And you guys are building a legacy, and that's your chance to leave a mark that's lasting. That's avoiding what I call the second death, which means you're forgotten and what you
Hmm.
did didn't really matter. So all you teachers out there that are listening, yeah, you do matter. You don't get
Amen.
paid enough, and I realize that, and I'm sorry about that. I would change it if I could, but absolutely, you're leaving a mark on our world and on our society.
Absolutely. Well said, Coach. We're going to bring on a gentleman that former coach Kenneth McClamrock, and he's got a question for you, and we'll bring him on right now.
Coach Cutcliffe, how are you, sir?
Good, Coach. It's good to see you. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. I was thinking earlier today, I'm not one who gets starstruck very easily. I've only asked one person for a picture or an autograph, and I was 8, and it was Sting from WCW. But I'll never forget when you came into my weight room and we were maximum effort squatting, and you were just about cheering guys on when they hit their lift. And then we went inside of my office for a good 45 minutes or an hour. And Coach, I just felt like I was sitting at someone's feet, just soaking in everything that you were saying. I don't know if you remember, probably not, but
Oh, I
this
do
was
remember it. I remember how hard those guys were working. It told me everything I needed to know about your program. Believe me, I
yes,
remember it
sir.
well.
Thank you so much for that. But this was 2 years ago, and you were talking about all the things that were going on that were starting to bubble in America. And you talked about growing up in Alabama, and you talked about just fighting the good fight between white athletes and black athletes. And I got home that night and I told my wife, holy cow, like I struck pay gold today because it was so incredible. But thank you for being on. Coach, so obviously Daniel Jones, you're known for the quarterback whisperer, the quarterback guru, the Peyton Manning, the Eli Manning, all of them. But we have a local kid here, Charlotte Latin, Daniel Jones. I saw him play on film versus Cox Mill. I saw you guys practice. I believe he was only a sophomore, and he was such an incredible athlete. Coach, how good can Daniel Jones be in the NFL?
The sky is the limit. Let me tell you, he has all the talent, but let's skip that. Let's go to an intangible. He is so dedicated to his work. Um, Daniel is got a great understanding of the game. He studies on his own. He's the first one. He even beats the coaches into work
Wow.
on Monday morning. I talked with him. I don't know if you remember, they won and positioned themselves. If the Redskins would have won, I think no, it wasn't the Redskins. If the Eagles would have beaten the Redskins, the Giants would have gotten in the playoffs. You recall that circumstance? So I was texting him that night, and it didn't happen. It was really a late game. The next morning, I texted him really early. I go to work really early, not expecting him to answer it. He answered it. Well, you know what he was doing? He called me. He was in the office by himself, even though that was the end of their season, studying their game from that Sunday, seeing what he could have done better. And they had won, what he could have done better. So that's a Brady move. That's a Peyton and an Eli move. And then he is so gifted and athletically. One of the things that's a trend in pro football as well as college football, the defensive fronts are getting so athletic that if you'll watch a lot of third down conversions, a lot of drives, even Brady has enough mobility to extend plays. Well, he's got the intelligence. He has got great athleticism to extend plays, much like Patrick Mahomes. He can run if he has to, but he's got a great quick motion. And what Daniel needs is some continuity. You know, he's already played for two coaches, and you know that's hard. Okay, and I remember when Pat Shermer, you know, was let go. Daniel was so upset. Pat called me, and Pat said, "You know, Daniel Jones is amazing. He's calling me, apologizing, and he's a rookie. You know, feeling like it's his fault." And I said, "You know, thanks for letting me know. I'll talk to Daniel." But when he gets a team around him and gets some continuity, and New York's not easy, but he's built for it. He'll keep his eyes straight ahead. He'll keep his nose to the grindstone, much like Eli did. Everybody's going to have an opinion in New York, and most of them aren't good. Believe me, that's the truth. So I think that we're going to see a lot of years of great football from Daniel Jones. He also is a clean liver, will take care of himself. He works out really hard. He eats well. He understands he's making a living that way. And the only thing I hate is through this pandemic, I haven't been able to have him on campus. They're not letting us bring anybody yet. He and I are talking about it. I don't know. I may end up, may sneak him on, you know. I want to sit and watch film with him and spend some time with him. He's a great worker.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
All right, great stuff, Kenneth. All right, Coach. While we're on the quarterback subject, you know, we got another quarterback question for you. Obviously, like Daniel Jones, you've worked with some great quarterbacks throughout your career. But in your opinion, what makes a great quarterback? And what did the great ones that you coached have that the others did not?
You know, I think there's a unique ability to make everybody around you better that's extremely important. How do you go about doing that? Well, the first thing is you don't blame other players. You accept responsibility. You coach as you practice. You make practice like a game. You can say, you can give that lip service, but I'm not talking about lip service. I'm talking about actually doing it. So when you see one on the practice field that has those extremely exceptional habits, you know you've got one. Now, the physical skill that I've always looked for, there are two things. One is just pure accuracy and being able to do it on the run. Like when I have a guy in camp, I'm going to make sure that I see him throw on the run. It'll break down everything about him. You don't have time to be mechanical, and you can see extreme accuracy. Extreme accuracy when you're moving in the pocket. A quarterback has to almost always move and adjust in the pocket. You never know when a guy's going to come open, so that ball has to get up and out in a hurry, and that plays into accuracy. And then the next thing after accuracy for me is just pure balance, and you see it. It's an unusual thing. It's no different than watching a great golfer. It's no different than watching a great hitter in baseball, a great shooter in basketball. Even when they appear to be off balance, you know, they're fading away. There's a control and a center of gravity. And I've kind of learned through the years to look for it, and I know it when I see it. And with Daniel Jones, I did see it, but not until his senior year when he got strong enough.
Oh, wow.
And man, I'm like, holy smoke, look at this, you know. And you don't see it all that often. And I tell you, in the era of, I'll give you one more. In
Okay.
the era of shotgun offenses, you got to have a middle infielder. And what I mean by that is if you're catching a gun snap, if I see a guy having to look the ball into his hand, he can't do it, because a middle infielder, a shortstop going across the bag, you just catch it and your eyes have to be downfield. Even when that ball, you see it, but you're not seeing it. And I was a pitcher middle infielder, so I know that feeling. And I know those hands, and in the era of RPOs and quick throws, and you can't read coverage without it, you know. So you get me into something I love. Now you got me coaching a little bit. I'm into that. I love it, and I love the process of finding quarterbacks also.
Absolutely. Hey, this is what we love. We get deep into football on this show, so that stuff is awesome, Coach. I love you sharing all those details right there. Our last question for you is about Peyton Manning. He's probably one of the most famous players around. And you obviously mentored him while at Tennessee. Do you have a funny moment or story that you could share with us about him?
Yeah, and let me give you a Peyton. The other thing that I left out was the competitiveness. So I've always met with our quarterbacks on Wednesday night late after they're finished with everything, and like Thursday is a big game plan review. Well, I review that with them Wednesday nights, and so I was down to two quarterbacks. We'd had all those people hurt, and it was Peyton and another true freshman. And I'm a stickler on time. So sure enough, Peyton shows up 5 minutes till 9, maybe 10 minutes till 9. Very talkative. And so we're talking, and he's talking more than normal. And I look at my watch, and it's a few minutes after 9, and the other guy's not there. And I'm like, "Do you know where Brandon is?" And he said, "No, no, I have no idea." And I said, "Well, he's not like him to be late." And so I get up, and I had had to prop all the doors open because they kind of automatically locked at Tennessee in that era. And as I walked out of the room, every door I came to had been shut. So it came obvious to me, and this is pre cell phone time, it became obvious to me that he had closed every door. When I got to the outside door of the complex, there was Brandon almost bloody knuckled beating on the door to get in. He had locked him out. Well, I knew who was going to win that job that night. That was early in their career. That's the kind of competitor Peyton Manning is. He'll try to beat you any way he can.
Oh, Coach, that's awesome, man. That is a great, great moment right there. We've got so many people on with, so many different comments. You are definitely loved here in the Charlotte area. And, once again, we appreciate you coming on with us tonight. When we cut this up and put it out on social media, I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy, what you shared tonight with us, Coach.
Well, let me say this too. My roots going back recruiting the state of North Carolina, we've had some legendary high school football coaches. Go all the way back to 1982. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I've been coming over and all through Charlotte. I mean, every part of the state. And I will say this, of course, our state population is exploding as well, but the quality of the coaching has always been there in this state. And I am seeing more and more and more great programs, great players, and particularly there in the Charlotte area. And everybody down there should be very proud of what's happening with their coaches and the programs. And I mean, there's multitudes of them. And so it's really become fun to watch I watch on Hubble, so I watch all of this high school tape all the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm very proud to be a North Carolinian, and I'm very proud of what's happening down there. And I'm a huge fan of everything Charlotte. So you guys keep doing what you're doing. We thank you for doing it.
Absolutely, Coach. We will. We always say that Charlotte has some of the best high school football in the nation. And it's proven with the recruiting that's going on down here and the type of talent that we have. And to your point, the coaching is top notch. So
yeah, I got to keep Clemson and Stanford and Alabama and all these other people out there. I know I got to fight on my hands with the in-state schools. But man, come on, give us a break,
Well, if we can help in any way possible, we'll be glad to help with that fight, Coach.
Take care. God bless. Have a great night.
You too, Coach. Thank you so much.
All right. See you later.
All right, Coach. Man, what a great interview that was with David Cutcliffe. I'm going to bring on the guys that we have, with us right now. And we got a special guest with us tonight. Our buddy Jim West is joined the show. And then Kenneth, and then producer Brandon. So Before we move on, guys, I'm going to go through the comments that were on the side. But what are your thoughts on, Coach Cutcliffe right there?
Well, I'll start. Yeah, there's no finer man than Coach Cutcliffe. I've got all the utmost respect in the world for him. I've watched them practice over the years. I've communicated back and forth when I texted him, 2 months ago about coming on to the show. Within 5 minutes, he texted me back, Coach, I want to do it. When can I do it? We were just so far lined up that we couldn't get him on until now. Just one of the greatest coaches. My phone has been blowing up all night. The last 20 minutes, Coach Cut is the man. I don't even like Duke, but I love Coach Cut. Just one of the greatest coaches there is. There's a reason why Duke football is where it is today. As he said, it was the laughing stock when he got there, but now Duke is one of the most respected programs in the ACC. They recruit big-time players with high academic standards. They have beautiful facilities, and he gets guys into the NFL.
Absolutely. Jim, you had something?
Yeah, I was going to say, as a Carolina grad, he's kind of hurt the Carolina Duke rivalry a little bit, because I can't hate the man. I can't hate Duke. He's a good man. He's a man of integrity. He cares about his players. He cares about the community. And everybody I've talked to that's a Carolina grad, nobody says anything bad about him at all. And that's if you know how intense that rivalry is between Carolina and Duke. I mean, if the man was Catholic, he'd be a saint.
All right, producer, you got any thoughts?
I mean, he's like a football Yoda. You just wise, and you can just kind of one of those people that you do a lot more listening when you're around someone like that, and you can just tell he's just a wealth of knowledge, full of a 40+ year career. It's just a guy you can just, especially young coaches and young people in general, can just kind of just sit and just listen in like an endless flow of knowledge. You kind of got that vibe from the interview.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the breakdown of the quarterback stuff personally. I think the Peyton Manning story was awesome. And then, in the beginning, talking about what he looks for from a recruiting standpoint, which I think some people might have missed, but we'll cut that up and we'll get it out there. I'm going to share some comments that were posted during the show. Let's see. Damian Jackson, not a big fan of transferring for success. Yep. That was one of the things that he liked. We were talking about, the recruiting process and looking at high school kids. Let's see. Chris Hughes, Coach Cutcliffe is a first-class coach, first-class human. Yeah, that came across very well. And, and to your point, Kenneth, when he talked about, when you brought up the weight room stuff and he, remembered that so well, that's when someone is really, in tune with being a genuine person, and you don't get that all the time, in this fraternity for sure. Greg Talley, a lot of wisdom in this guy, one of the greatest, absolutely. Coach Lucky, this guy has changed the way we look at Duke football. We sure have. DJ McFadden, this is awesome. QB Guru, yeah, I know you loved it, DJ. We call you a quarterback guru also, sir. Miss Monroe, do you have any advice for a QB's mom? Right now I wear headphones and sit away from everyone.
Who's that?
Yeah, we couldn't really go off the cuff too much, obviously, with, the way we have to do things with, the coaches and everything. But, yeah, to your point. Miss Moten, thank you for watching again. It was an awesome interview. And Jim West, you got a fan here. Mr. Terrence is glad to see you. So
it's always good to hear from Terrence. He's a good man.
I agree. All right, so let's take a look at what we got tonight. So coming up right now, we got the rapid review. We'll start with Cabarrus County and we'll go on down the line. CMS Best to Last will be at 8:15. Blitz previews at 8:30. We got the predictions at 8:50. Playoff talk at 9 o'clock. And then we got the slime, which I got a hell of a slime tonight. So you want to stick around for 9:20. And I'm going to tell you right now, Kenneth, I need two slimes. All right.
I got you, Pat.
Thank you very much, sir. Wait a minute. We got the Queen here. Queen, what's up? What's up?
Hey,
Hello.
Cherie.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Doing all right?
Doing good.
Good,
Oh, yeah.
good. Well, we're
I was
doing great.
watching. I was watching you guys interview Coach Cutcliffe. I'm sad I wasn't on here. I wanted to guess
Yeah.
what him. You know, but it's all good.
Well, I think we'll get him again at some point. I
Oh,
think
I'm sure.
he really enjoyed his time, and obviously the people enjoyed it. So yeah, we'll
Uh-huh.
we'll we'll get him back on.
Yeah, he was really awesome.
All right, so let's put everybody back except for Kenneth because it's his time to look at the Cabarrus County Rapid Review. All right, Kenneth, one strike. One strike. I'm sorry. All right, what you got, man?
I think it was an interesting week of football last week. I think you're starting to see some teams rise to the top. You're starting to see some teams get some momentum headed into the off season. A much shorter season. Obviously, the biggest game of the week was the A.L. Brown J.M. Robinson game. The score was 29-14. It was not that big of a discrepancy. J.M. Robinson scored with about 4 or 5 minutes to go. They kicked off. The ball was fumbled. J.M. Robinson actually recovered around the 20-yard line, but the foot was out of bounds when the kid recovered it. So Kannapolis got the ball back, and they ended up breaking a long run. Kudos to A.L. Brown's running back, Jamison Flo. I told Coach Gray this weekend. Coach Gray and I talk at least every week. I was so impressed with Jamison Flo. I thought that he had a heck of a game. He broke off several big-time plays. But let me tell you, Robinson, that team is a team that you do not want to play in the playoffs, Coach. Robinson, they may have lost that one, but I have a feeling they're going to bounce back from it. Cox Mill, we've talked about this every week now for the past 3 or 4 weeks. That Coach Baker is getting those jokers rolling. They defeated Concord 21-20, a super close game. But I think the Cox Mill is one of those teams that's going to go into the offseason with a whole bunch of momentum, and that is going to be a dangerous situation for the rest of Cabarrus County. West Cabarrus, if I'm being real with it, this was the surprise game of the week. 11-8 over my boys in overtime. Everybody knows how much Central Cabarrus means to me and those kids mean to my heart. But congratulations to West Cabarrus playing without seniors. I believe that was their 3rd win of the season, so they're 3-3 on the year. Mount Pleasant is rolling. I'll be at the Mount Pleasant game this Friday night looking at them to go 7-0 and to win their conference championship. Big win over Montgomery Central. And then a team that really we just don't know a lot about in Cabarrus County, just keeping it real. They're a 2A school. Providence Grove defeated Northwest Cabarrus. That may be the most points Northwest has scored outside of the Concord game. But a big win for Providence Grove. Maybe Northwest Cabarrus. I've talked to some of their coaches. The kids are starting to buy in. They're starting to play better. Once again, I really think that this year has been strange. Someone asked me, one of my former players were texting with me the other night, and he asked me, is competition down in Cabarrus County? I told him I don't think it is. But what's happened is you have 3 schools who had kids drawn from them that were sent to West Cabarrus. So really 4 schools were affected. There's a lot of parity in the conference, but I'm expecting Cabarrus County schools to go into this off season, and I expect Cabarrus County schools to be really strong moving into the fall season. And I think that this week's scores begins to show that trend in that direction.
All right, good stuff. We got a comment here from Coach Lucky. He wants to know, why ain't you going to the Bell game?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've seen Concord play. I've seen Kannapolis play twice now. I've not seen Mount Pleasant. We've talked about on the show, Coach Riggins coaches the offensive line for Mount Pleasant. He was my defensive line coach for 2 years. Coach Pruitt coaches the quarterbacks at Mount Pleasant. And by the way, the Tyson kid, Coach Pruitt told me has 5 90-yard plus bombs this year. 5 of them.
Wow.
And I've told them that I was going to get out to a game. It just happens that all of their home games so far were games that I already had marked on my calendar. So I'm excited to get out there to Mount Pleasant. I'm probably going to try to stop by Central Cabarrus just so I can see my guys' last game. The way it's looking, there'll be 2 games out of the SBC, or 2 teams out of the SBC. that's going to the playoffs. But I'm excited to see Mount Pleasant play.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're good
That said,
people.
I've got Concord, Coach Lucky. I've got Concord winning the bell game 2009. A 4-6 Concord High School team went into Memorial Stadium with a fifth-string quarterback. And we all know what happened, 13-10, but it really wasn't that close. BJ Beecher, a freshman, and the Concord Spiders brought that bell back, and they painted it the colors that is always supposed to have been, black and gold. We're going to get rid of that awful green and white stuff. Coach, y'all can put that on your Twitter account, but you heard it here. Concord over Kannapolis in the bell game Friday night.
You're welcome, A.L. Brown social media. Thanks, Kenneth. Oh, they love us. They love us. All right. All right, Jim, let's bring you on. Let's go with Gaston County. You want to help out on that?
Yeah, I'll be glad to help you out.
All right. Well, let's take a look at these scores, and what do you think that stands out to you here?
Oh, I'm gonna say the Hunter Huss Stuart Kramer game. Be honest with you, I thought Kramer would score some points against Huss, and be honest with you, I thought it was going to be a pretty tight game, and obviously shows you what I know. Ashbrook, North Gaston, not surprised with that. I was always glad to see Forest View win. Coach Medlin, I used to go to school with him at Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Kings Mountain, Forest View. Okay, we got, there was two games. Okay, one on Monday, one Thursday. Kings Mountain's just a juggernaut. They're great.
Oh, yeah.
East Rutherford, they're not going to be playing this weekend. I don't know if you know that or not. They've canceled that game. So, a couple of years ago, East Rutherford, I think it was 2018, they had a pretty good team. They won like 7 games in a row. And, programs are cyclical. South Point Shelby, is that the right score? 28?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, gosh, Chasey, I need to watch this more often. That actually surprises me.
Yeah, it surprised a lot of people.
I was, was that game was it on Thursday or Friday?
I think it was Friday, I believe. Well, I don't know. Because, it was weird because you got some games that were they were advertised to play Friday, then they ended up playing Thursday. So I'm not told. I think it was Thursday because I think we talked about it on the Thursday Night Live show. Yeah. That
I would say that surprised me. Does surprise me on that. I know the Shelby lost to Kings Mountain, but I mean, Kings Mountain's just really good. I mean, they're just an excellent team. They could go to the state championship game. Mm-hmm. So this does surprise me on that. But this is a surprising year. I mean, 2021, all bets are off.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding, man.
Union Academy beat Highland Tech. Highland Tech has looked a little bit more stout than usual. That's hopefully that's a program on the rise. Crest versus Burns now. I'm not surprised by that score. Both very good programs. Crest 3A, Burns 2A. Mm-hmm. And Community School of Davison just keeps on rolling. Mountain Island Charter, I'm sure they've been hurt by the pandemic, probably a little bit more than a lot of the teams in their conference. So what's your thoughts? What's your biggest surprise? Was it the South Point Shelby?
Well, I think that'd be number one just in terms of, playoffs. But, Shelby is now getting that number one seed because of the, obviously they were going to, most likely they were going to beat East Rutherford anyway. But now we know, they're going to, get that number one seed out of the Southwest 2A because of that. But I like it, like you said, Hunter Huss Stuart Kramer, that quarterback at Kramer, Rockmore, we interviewed him a couple weeks ago. He had been throwing on everyone in Gaston County, but Hunter Huss came in there and just shut it down, man. That was very impressive. Quietly, Ashbrook is, having a decent season now with that win. They got a big game coming up with Hunter Huss for another bell game. But overall, the Highland Tech Union Academy had been struggling, and our buddy OP at Highland Tech, he may come on a little bit later on. He's part of the panel. He may, be able to tell us, about that game a little bit. But, overall, it's, pretty standard outside of those things.
Yeah, 2021 has just been such an interesting year to say the least. So it's so I've been kind of disconnected from high school football because of work commitments and everything. But so help me, when I saw that, I was like, Please tell me that's a typo on that South Park Celtic game.
Hey, South Point's got a shot, man. They got a shot to get in the playoffs. So
They do.
yeah, that's what you want, man. All right, thank you, Jim.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna roll on to Mecklenburg County. We're gonna bring on the producer. We're gonna bring on the Queen. And I don't know if our buddy in the background over there is ready. I'll wait to see if he gets a little more stable. But
Wow.
all right, so what do y'all think here? I'll let you go first, producer.
Well, let's see. Just doing a quick scan. One thing that pops out to me. Well, it's more of a testament to Porter Ridge defense, but Myers Park being, sort of a prolific offense, only put 16. That's something. That's no jab in Myers Park, but more of a kind of uplifting Porter Ridge and their defense there.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of out of nowhere, I'm just gonna call it out there. But Mooresville putting up 46 definitely came out of nowhere. Given the body of work so far this season, I'm sure many people didn't see a 46-0 game coming out of there. But props to them for getting it done and putting that together. And then you just can't say enough about the season that Providence is putting together. Shutting out Olympic. They're not just shutting out anyone. They shut out a good team, a good offense.
Mm-hmm.
So that says a lot. This wasn't just some winless team that came in there and they shut out. No, they shut out a good team. They shut out a team that's going to be in the playoffs. So, that's, hats off to them and their defense.
All right, Queen, what you got?
It's kind of, the same sentiment. I'm looking at, Vance and Huff because I believe they played this week, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to get into it.
I know. And so, I was, kind of looking at their scores against their respective teams.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Vance doing what they do. And, Huff getting up there, scoring some points against Mallard Creek, who, has kind of been up and down this season, I think. So those are two scores. The rest of them, I'm really not surprised. South Berry is a little surprising to me. I thought Berry would have put up a bigger fight, against South Meck. So hats off to their defense because they obviously did something against that team. I don't know if it's Berry's quarterback is still out or, whatever the case may be, but, that still says a lot. But y'all see Butler. I want y'all to look at that score Butler got down there too because they putting up points too. So just know. I'm still rocking with y'all, Butler. So ain't no Lord. I'm still rocking with my team. That's
I hear you. I hear you.
Hats off to them too. Charlotte Catholic. I don't know anything about Cuthbertson, so I don't know. But they seem to have held Catholic at bay. So be interested to see what they do. From here on out.
Well, I'll tell you about that Catholic Cuthbertson game. So what happened was our buddy Tim Winters, who we interviewed earlier out of Union County earlier this year, he was there, and Catholic was down. They were down in that game. There was 6 seconds left, and what happened was called the Easter Monday Miracle, is what Tim called it. They threw a 40-yard pass into toward the end zone. The Cuthbertson guy tipped it, and then the Catholic wide receiver Robert McKernan caught it in the end zone for a touchdown. I mean, just an incredible play, and some people were saying after that Coach Otto was looking down on them, and
right.
I tell you, it's so ironic that they went on a pass play because Coach Otto was definitely against the pass. And Kyle, thank you for this. Mooresville did defeat North Meck 32-9 from Monday night. That was done after I, finished this graphic here. So that was another impressive win for Mooresville on top of the one, against West Charlotte. All right. Now he's ready.
Oh. You know what? It was another game on the west side. I was so shocked to see this team pull out this win against this. I want to say West Met beat Harden 46-14. Man, that was a shocker. Because when I'm not on the show, these daggers come from a school. We got beat. but we don't be back. But I was just shocked. I was just amazed with the West Met. That man, good job, Hawks. Way to shut them Rams up. It was, oh my goodness, it was a shocker. It was a real big shocker. Did y'all catch that game? Woo! Woo! 46-14. Lord Jesus.
You know, I was gonna say something, but out of respect, I'm not gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it.
Hey man, you go ahead and say it, man. Hey, look.
I'm gonna save my smoke for the slime.
I'm gonna tell you something. Whenever you post that stuff you post today, can you please call me and let me know, because my phone was running off the hook.
Well, they can call me. Y'all call me.
They said, "What's wrong with Pep?" I said, "I don't know. I'm taking a nap watching Remember the Titans." Well, watching me, I'm old. Lord Jesus.
Hey, old.
I am old. I was tired.
Oh gosh.
My body was weary.
Oh, and I also want to shout out. Hey, that RG AC Reynolds 23-0. That
was a good game.
Super impressive.
I
AC
watched
Reynolds.
that game. It was a good game.
Yeah, AC Reynolds is undefeated. To go up there and play that way, in that first half they put up 23, and then they took Jack out. He got a little banged up. The quarterback, Jack Curtis. And then the second half, the defense just a stellar performance, man.
Man, hey, I know everybody talking about Vance versus Huff, but that AK versus Providence game is gonna be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey,
absolutely.
That's gonna be a game right there.
Mm-hmm. And then shout out to Rocky River getting that win over Independence. We said that was gonna be a good close game, and 24-22. Yeah, that's a big win for Rocky River going into this final week. All right. So I'm gonna bring everybody on because we got the best of last next, and made a couple changes in the best of last.
Man, go on, cut me. Go on, cut me. Go ahead and cut me. I know you are. Go ahead and cut me. Let me see. Let me see your little graphic.
Why am I gonna cut you?
Let me see your graphic. Let me see the disrespect.
Hey, come on now. It's all love.
No, don't do that.
What's up, OP?
Hey, he back got a shirt on. Hold on, let me see what he got on. Where the shirt at? Where your shirt at?
I ain't getting no.
I ain't want to get the shirt. I gave it to
That's my fault. I didn't get over to Providence to get the shirt, but we all know about the bet. And hey, it's funny because two Providence coaches after the game wanted me to tell you, OP, to make sure that you wore something on the show tonight.
My boys had my back. They had my back. Oh, I told you. I knew they were going to do what they were going to do.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, you want to know a funny story? So,
no, we don't. We got to move on. I'm going to tell a
funny. Yeah, we'll move on. Hold this quick. So, Wes had called me Thursday. He was like, man, I told you. We told you we don't win. Hey, how y'all do? I said, man, get off my phone, man.
All right. It was quick. Thank you. All right. Here we go. Best of last. All right.
Oh, Lord, look at this disrespect.
What you talking about, man?
Go on, talk
about.
All right. We're hard in it. Yeah, okay. They bet they shoot. Let me stop. I got some good friends at Hard.
Yes, you do. All right, thank you. All right, so Huff moves up to number 2. The fact that they dominated that game against Mallard Creek was really impressive. Myers Park, they did win again. Porter Ridge gave them a good run in that game. Butler at 4, still holding strong right there. And then 5 and 6, Providence RGKL, the big matchup for the SOMEC Conference Championship. On Friday. Olympic falls a little bit to number 7. And then Mallard Creek at 8, South Meck 9. And then you see the rest, on the left side of the screen. Same trend continues. The left side of the screen, there's a little bit of movement up and down. Man, side. Go ahead.
We could be ahead of North Met. We beat North Met.
It's on the whole body of work, sir. It's on the whole body of work. So
we beat North Met. Okay.
I know you did. Whole body of work.
This is hatred right there.
There's no hatred.
Y'all see how he do me? I work for him. And this is how he do his friends.
I love the West Side. I love Beatty's Ford
know you
Road.
do. I don't mess with. Hey, he don't have no hatred. This is. Oh my goodness. Let me just smoke my cigar. Go on, talk.
All right, it's down the line. Producer, you got any thoughts?
I think it's like usual. It's about where it should be. I think the only thing keeping Butler out of that three spot is the head-to-head matchup with Myers Park. If it wasn't for that, you could easily put Butler in that three slot, but obviously you can't. Given the head-to-head meetup, they basically won everything else except that. So, but everything else I think is about where it should be, given the whole body of work, like you said.
All right, Queen.
I'm kind of right there with Brandon. I although I do like Butler and kind of go hard for them. A lot of the teams that they played haven't really been, I guess, credible teams to kind of give them a credit to put them
Oh,
up a higher spot than for. So I
ouch.
I kind of agree with them being where they are. And like you said, everything else, it's pretty much the same. I agree with.
All right, Bills, we already heard from you. All right, Kenneth.
I think that everything is shaping up to have an incredible last week of football. Huff is trending in the right direction. Vance is rolling. Obviously, Myers Park is playing good football regardless of a close game. I think that was more indicative of Porter Ridge, as we said earlier. Butler is an incredible football team. Providence is an incredible football team. I'll say this: I'll put Charlotte's best 5 teams versus any other best 5 teams in the Southeast, and I feel pretty good about Charlotte's chances.
I totally agree. Totally agree. Jim, you got some thoughts here?
I'll say 1-5, or to me, there's a little bit of a separation between 1-5 and everybody else. And I totally agree with Vance, Huff, Myers Park, Butler, and Providence in that order. I was really surprised by how good Providence is, especially in the trenches.
Yeah,
I saw the game and
that defense.
great defense all over the
Mhm.
place. Good linebacker play, everything. 6 through 8, Ardrey Olympic, Mauer Creek. It could be interchangeable, just like anything. This is always we're kind of focusing our lens as the year goes on. It looks really good though. I like what your rankings are.
Thank you, Jim. OP.
I don't.
I like it. I'm about like Jim and everybody else. 1-5 is where it need to be. 6 through 9, it could be some change in there. Just if you just look at who won against who at that point and who's in whose conference. And 19 through
Okay.
10, it is what it is.
All right. Bills, here's what I want you to do. I want you to give me your best to last going forward. And then we
Right now,
well, yeah, let's go ahead. Go ahead. We got a couple minutes. Go ahead.
No, we ain't got
Man.
a couple minutes, Matt. Don't even let him do it.
don't let me do it. I know what I do. I need to stop doing it because I don't. Yeah, let me stop because I don't get Josh in trouble. Go ahead, man. I like it. Hey, look, that's why Otis said stop. Otis, no, I give mine, and you ain't no like it. Look, Jim over there laughing too. They know, I give mine. It's gonna be some heat.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me look at this. Hold up. I agree with 1 through 6.
Okay.
No, I agree with 1 through 8.
Okay.
South deserves 9.
Okay.
I think Rocky River. I don't know. You go Rocky River Independence. Who won that? Rocky River beat Independence, so yeah, they deserve that 10.
Okay.
I think this is tough. No, it's not. I think 11. You got to put the IMAC. You can put either us or Hopewell right there because
Okay.
it's just going off what we don't play. And then you put North.
Phillips, no, I'm not even gonna let you do that. No, you can't.
Yes, you can. Barry beat Ashbrook.
Phillips,
Who else they beat?
You're giving up 40 some odd points a game right now.
Whoa. We ain't talking about politics right now. Hold up now. You got too much chip on your chip. Hold it.
Hey, I gotta put on this Providence hat in a minute. I'm not holding nothing back.
God, dog. Man, giving up points too. Everybody give up points, man. Sometimes you just don't want to tackle.
Hey, well, If
Oh,
you get
oh,
50 piece,
all right then.
No, always don't make me mad, man.
All right.
Hey, touche. I like it. Touche.
All right. Let's move on before y'all get mad. All right, here we
We ain't
go.
don't get mad.
All
I'll
right,
call yell him later.
all right. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back shortly. Now it's time for Kenneth's analysis on the Cabarrus County Blitz. Here we go.
Sorry, Pep. I'm a little bit out of whack tonight. It's my spring break, and we're doing day trips every day with the kids. I feel like I'm a little bit behind, but great
That's
week of
okay.
football in Cabarrus County this week. Obviously, historically, the biggest game of them all this year. The shining is not quite as shining. It's a little bit lackluster. A.L. Brown, obviously 5-1 versus Concord, who's 2-4. I said it earlier. I'm going to stick with it because you know what? I may have coached at other schools. There may be over 20 years in between. But get it straight. When Concord High School plays A.L. Brown High School, there's only one team that I'm pulling for, and they ain't wearing green and white. I can tell you that. So I'm going with Concord over A.L. Brown in front of the home fans. I think it's going to be a huge game. I think that Concord is going to play lights out. I think they're going to keep the football away from A.L. Brown with their dive and with the little play action pass. And I think that Concord's defense is going to have a huge night versus A.L. Brown's offense. Put that on your social media. Porter Ridge at Hickory Ridge. What a great game. I have to admit that I've been surprised at how well Porter Ridge is playing. They're back almost to playing at some Porter Ridge teams of the past that played for a state championship. I mean, that is a tough league, and to be 4-2 right now. That said, I believe in my man Jude. I believe in those boys up the road in Harrisburg.
Let me say something real quick about this game. And when we get to the playoff talk, this is a big, big game because the loser of this game is going to be out. Period.
Pep, I think that, you're looking at the third place team in this league and the third place team in the IMEC league potentially both being out, and potentially those two teams. Let's be real with it. Hickory Ridge could win the small 4A, and they may be watching next week. They are that good. They are that talented, but it shows the quality of competition that they play against. Just Charlotte football across the board. I think that is incredible. It reminds me of Pep, and I think me and you talked about this. In 1995, Concord High School was 9-1, and they were home for the first round playoffs. Kannapolis beat them in just an awful hurricane-like situation, the Bell game, and Concord was 9-1 and was sitting at home. And I think it's a travesty because the quality of football that we play around here is pretty stinking good. J.M. Robinson and Central Cabarrus, kudos to my dude D-Rob, and I've got several coaches on staff, of course. I love my dudes in the green and Viking gold. It's a tough season for those guys. I'm just going to leave it at that. Love my kids at Deacon Jordan Field, and wish those kids the best in what they do from here out. Northwest Cabarrus at Cox Mill. Cox Mill has won 2 in a row. They're now 2-4, 2-3 in the league. I see Cox Mill bringing that game home. Olympic at West Cabarrus. Kudos to Coach Furr for always scheduling in his first year quality competition. The schedule that he has put out for West Cabarrus next year is incredible as well. But Olympic football is pretty stinking good. I've got Olympic big in that one. And then West Elliott, Mount Pleasant. I've got my boys in the blue and gold going to 7-0 and win the Rocky River Conference.
All right, good stuff, man. So Jim West, does not agree with you once again. Now, we know he was correct last week when he went against you. So right now he's riding with A.L. Brown once again.
You know what, Jim West, we're done, man.
Well, we can bring him on. So let's do that. So Jim, you ain't got to take it now. You can say something back to him.
Though, I will say this: I was looking at this game. Had a little bit of a break during the day, and Kenneth is probably going to be right. I think, I mean, it's a good chance Concord could win, but I'm going to take A.L. Brown anyway. I just think A.L. Brown has a little bit more Jimmy and Joe's right now.
They're incredible. A.L. Brown's offensive line played really well the other night versus J.M. Robinson. Once again, the running back play was incredible. The truth is, A.L. Brown has a stable of 2 or 3 big time running backs, the Flow kid being the biggest of them. And their defense played really well. Obviously, the right kid that everyone knows about that's got offers from everybody in the nation. He's 6'2, 205, 210 maybe. They're an incredible football team, and I've said it since August that A.L. Brown should make a deep run into the playoffs. But something about that black and gold, baby, I ain't pulling against my blood.
The reason why I was thinking that Concord is within, could win this game, I don't know the weather's going to be that good on Friday when they play, and I think that might go into Concord's favor. To be honest with you, I could be wrong about this, but I could. This is going to be a close game.
I think last year was the exception. I don't remember. I was busy doing other team stuff, but this game is always a close game. It doesn't matter what the records are. When these two teams get together, it was weird when this game used to be the first game of the season before school. It's just as weird that it's being played over spring break, but it's being played. We've had a season. We've had a successful season. I think Concord has taken some steps in the right direction. They've won a couple of football games. They have things to build off of moving into the late spring and early summertime. It's just an exciting time. And anytime these two teams play, it's exciting. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of tradition.
All right,
I agree.
Good stuff, guys. Great job. All right, Jim, you stay on with us. Kenneth will put you in the background. We got the Gaston County Blitz. Let's bring on OP because we got Gaston County. All right, and we'll get that up here. All right. What do you guys think right here, Jim? Let's you can go first on this.
I'm gonna have to think about this one a little bit. I think it's gonna be a pretty darn good game. To be honest with you, Huss really surprised me last week, winning by 40 points against Kramer. Ashbrook's been seems to be getting a little bit better as the season goes on. I'm gonna take Ashbrook though.
Okay, all right. OP, you got any thoughts on that one?
I think it's a unique situation. You got a head coach that's coached at both schools. Randy Thompson has coached at Ashbrook and Hunter Huss. He's the head coach there now. So, I think they're both getting good at the right time. Huss coming off a 40-point win. I'm gonna go with Huss. I've always picked my roommate, so I'm not gonna change what I'm doing now. So I'm not gonna change there, but I think Hunter Huss will step it up and keep it going and finish the season strong and get this win.
All right, good deal. A big Cleveland County showdown. We'll throw it in the Gaston County analysis. Crest and Kings Mountain. Jim, what you got?
You got some really great players. Just really great 3A football players. They actually play kind of on the 4A level in a lot of ways. Kings Mountain's going to be hard to beat at Kings Mountain, but there's a certain little bit of an aura about Crest that their coaches do. Their coaches do to win this game. You're talking about one of the best coaches in the state, one of the most underrated coaches, if you ask me. I'm going to take Kings Mountain, but I expect another close game.
All right, cool. OP, what you got?
I call this the backyard brawl. This is one of those. We go to church together and we talk all week. So I'm gonna have one of those small town feel type of atmospheres in the stadium. And I think Chris has been here before. They've done this before. But I'm gonna go with Kings Mountain on this one. I think that it's just their time, it's just their season. They're playing pretty good football right now. And I'm just real impressed that they played 3 football games in 9 days and they had all of them. And so I'm just so impressed about how those kids are staying together, staying focused, and being able to change gears in 9 days and play 3 different teams. And it didn't seem like it was a drop off So I'm going with Kings Mountain on this. I just think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder and they're looking to prove some people wrong.
All right, good points, man. All right, any other games on this list stand out to you guys? Jim, I'll let you get first shot.
I won't say the next one. To be honest with you, Forest View and Stuart Kramer. I'm
Okay.
going to go with Forest View. I'm a big fan of Coach Medlin. I lived two suites down from him at Hinton James back in the early '90s. He's a good man, good coach. Kramer's got a lot of talent. I'm going to go with Forest View on that.
All right, good deal. OP, any of those games that left on there stand out to you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the game at the end, Pond Lake Prep and at Community School of Davidson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think both teams are high power offensive. They're gonna throw the ball around. They're gonna fly around. They're gonna play some fast football. And both quarterbacks are gonna get the ball to their playmaker hands. And I think it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be an old school spread 7-on-7. There ain't gonna be no big boys running up front. It's gonna be all the little skill guys running around catching passes. 3 seconds of blocking, and they're gonna throw the ball around. Um, but I like community schools of Davidson right now. I just think they're playing
Mm.
pretty good football. Um, so I'm going with community school of Davidson.
All right, all
Yeah.
right. And now both of those teams are gonna make the playoffs, right?
Both teams should make the playoffs. But
Okay.
you never
You're getting
know.
three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know with this playoff situation because I mean, if you just look at what happened in basketball, what could happen in football, some of the same things can happen.
Mm. Good point.
So it just all depends on where you fall at in the ADM. If you're gonna be small or big, I don't know how all that's gonna play out, but you could be in 1 minute and out the next. You never know.
All right. Well, Coach Trotter got something to say about your passing. OP he says Pound Lake Prep averaging 250 rushing per game.
They throw some.
Oh man. Now for me, that Chase South Point game is a big one, right, Jim? That's gonna be for playoff, positioning, right?
I can't remember if it's Chase or RS Central that did RS Central beat. I think RS Central beat Chase by a pretty good amount, didn't they?
I think Chase won that game by one. It was a crazy game. I think it was.
Oh, really?
I think that was the 50-49 game. I believe.
Okay.
I believe. Now, we'll look when we get to playoffs. We'll look at the Southwest 2A and
Okay.
we'll see what we got there. But I think that's a pretty big game.
It
for
definitely
both
is,
of those
especially
teams.
for both teams. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Adams usually is with us. He's not feeling too good, so we're gonna tap in for you, Justin. Hope you're feeling better, man. We miss you. It ain't the same, without the impact speed training tapping in thing. So feel better, man. All right, guys. OP will keep you on. Jim will drop you back. We got the Mecklenburg County Blitz coming up. We're gonna bring on the producer, the Queen, the illustrious, and we're gonna look at some huge football games. Here's the first part of Mecklenburg County. All right, producer. Let's see. Let's obviously. All right, we're gonna give everybody a shot. Huff Advance. Producer, let's go.
I mean, this played out like a lot of people wanted it to see. They both come in unbeaten. It's kind of a nice little clash of the Titans. Vance has been to the mountaintop. Huff's trying to get there, so we'll see how it plays out. But they're both playing really well, and you couldn't really ask for a better matchup. It's going to be exciting. So can't wait to see how it plays out. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and all right, y'all don't do predictions yet on this game. Let's just get your thoughts. Queen, what you got on Huff Advance? Oh Lord,
He has muted Huff Advance.
Sorry. I was excited about this because I actually did.
She got anointed again.
Get out of here. Anyway, but and that's why I was looking at their scores during the last segment because I wanted to see where they finished at, and I think they said that Vance scores like maybe 11 more points than they do in the final. So the biggest thing for me is they got this one defensive tackle, Deshaun Davis, and he's
Yeah.
been putting up a lot of good stats for them on the defense. So he's going to have to be, really big for them in that area. And then also on the offensive side of it, looking at Tad Hudson, who's actually been a good quarterback for them, but he's only averaging 177, passing yards per game. And so it's like, um, they've got to get something going in that passing game if they want to beat this team, because obviously Vance's defense, they're all over the ball, but they go more for the run than they do for the pass. And so, it's just, this is going to be a really interesting game to watch. I'm excited for this one.
Okay, good deal. Illustrious.
Um, this game is very interesting because both sides been talking. Both sides been talking, and
Oh yeah.
I love Curtis Neal. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I wish I could play football with that boy. That is, man. Hey, I can't wait. I'm glad that I'm playing, but yeah, was not coaching right now. That's the game I'll be at right there, boy. That's the game right there. There's so much tension. You got, Simmons, he holding people accountable. I love it. I love what Coach Simmons is doing on Twitter. Like, he's holding people accountable. As coaches, we can't get other coaches' business, but hey, when you start shooting, you gotta be able to take them shots. So hey, I love it. But one thing will say is there's gonna be a lot of talking on that field. There's gonna be a lot of talking. Hey, you don't see some good football.
Absolutely, man. OP.
I think it's what we all anticipated. Both teams are undefeated in conference play. It's for the IMAC championship. I think Vance has some stuff that they still want to prove, and Huff they're trying to get there to the mountaintop, like the producer said. So, we'll see what happens this come Friday night. And, I'll be coaching, but at the same time, I'll be looking for the score at the end of the night and contacting my friends and see how they, get the inside scoop of what really happened in the game and what transpired and, why who won and who did what in this game. I'm looking forward to hearing about this game and even trying to see it that Saturday.
Absolutely, man. So me and Brandon were at this game last year. We got there early. Well, I think I got there early. And there was a lot of talk in this game last year over at Huff. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Vance has circled this game for 365 days. Right after that game ended last year, they have wanted to play these guys and get, some retribution for what Huff did to them. I agree with, I've seen and heard the talking you talking about, Illustrious. Like I said last week on Friday night, media, y'all need to get there early, because I'm going to tell you right now, the pregame is just going to be as good as the actual game itself.
I swear. When Curtis Neal told them, said that they the real mud boys and y'all better come get y'all lick back, I said, Jesus. Jesus. Why we don't got more football players like that? I know a lot of people don't like that you young boys talk, but we talk when we played. And
yeah.
If we had Twitter when we were playing, boy, we was on no message board talking junk. I'll tell you that. That's how we used to.
Everybody would have been banned.
I played. Hey, when West Shaw used to play independent, you didn't want to be around that. There's a lot of harsh words were said, but I love it. I love it. Curtis Neal, you have a fan for life. That man said, "Come get your lick back."
All right, so I see y'all's comments. I'll put some of these up. So Kyle Smith, our buddy in IMEC, Huff over Vance. He's calling it now. Jim West, he's here with us. Huff Vance will go in overtime. After that, get out a quarter and flip that sucker. Cliff Andrews, last year, Pryor won that game for them regardless of what everybody wants to say. Pryor had 4 touchdowns. Yeah. They only had 42. After that, you see what happened. Well, Pryor did have a really, really huge game.
He won that game.
Yeah,
He won that
well,
game.
yeah. I mean, he's a hell of a player. Um, you look at this game, and I think I saw, I think it was you, Cherie, when you talked about, Tad Hudson's passing yardage.
Mhm.
The reason for that is Huff really runs the ball well. They got a great dynamic backfield combo with Mookie McWilliams and Caden Bell McKeithen. If Huff is able to run the ball, that's going to open some things up, obviously, for some matchups on the outside. Now, we know Vance loves, that one-on-one man coverage for the most part. You got to be able to win one-on-one battles on the outside if you're going to have success against a aggressive Vance defense, point blank and period. Conversely, Vance offensive line, they've been, very good all season long, but they got a hell of a test trying to block that Huff D line. That's the matchup I'm excited about. You got two great lines going up against each other, and whoever wins that battle is going to win that football game.
Whoever the
Hands
nastiest.
down. Mm-hmm.
Whoever the nastiest.
There you go. Now we got another big game on the screen, the SOMEC Championship. Providence and RGK. Let's come down the line once again. All right, OP, we'll start with you because you got that. Hold on, we got to blow you up because you got the hat on because you lost the bet last week, and now he's on that bus. OP's on the
bus. Ain't nobody on no bus, but
he on the bus. He's the conductor.
I'm a man of my word. My boys lost last week. I said I will wear something for Providence High School, and it will be the first and last time that I have something on that says Providence on it.
Oh, man.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at this ball game, I think this Providence is going to win hands down. RGK is really banged up coming into the last game, and, this is just for seeding purposes. If Providence takes care of business, they're the number one in the conference. Olympic will finish 2. RGK will finish 3. But if RGK can come out and beat Providence, then it throws a monkey wrench in the playoffs for the SOMAC. So, but Providence is playing good football right now. I was really impressed by the D-line play and the defense that Providence played against Olympic. I mean, they shut down the run. They put a donut up. So, like Coach Hackett said, Billups, you owe them kids some donuts. So you might want to go over there and take them 4 boxes.
They already got them.
Hey. So, I just think Providence should take care of business right here, and win this game and get ready for playoffs and get ready for a home playoff game.
All right, producer, what you got on this one?
Expecting a good game, man. Hopefully, I don't know what the outcome. I know, like you said, Curtis was a little banged up in that other game, so I don't know what his prognosis.
He's playing.
He'll be there. Okay, so
he don't play. It's a big rival. They playing.
I hope so. Wheel him out there if you have to. But yeah. But I'm expecting a great game, man. I'm interested to see how Providence follows up. That outstanding defensive performance they had on Friday. Because if anything, they just even more fired up. They were just that was just shot their confidence all the way up. But Providence is playing well. Providence is that defense is outstanding. But no one should count out RGK as well. So I'm expecting a good game.
So we got a pretty reliable source here on Mr. Curtis. So there you go. There you go.
We didn't need that spot to the. I already knew he was gonna play. This is a big game for them.
All right, Queen, what you got on this one?
I mean, I'm kind of piggybacking off of the producer. I'm looking forward to seeing what Providence's defense is going to do after what they did last week. Holding the team scoreless. RGK is definitely going to be a tough team to do that against, but I have full faith in Providence. That's one of the predictions I'm actually going to apologize for. I was expecting Olympic to come
Thank
out.
you.
Yeah, and I'll give you that. I know I'll admit when I'm wrong. And
I know you do. Go on with your speech. I want to hear this.
But yeah, so I'm fully expecting to see what's going to happen with this game.
All right, illustrious.
All I'm gonna say it is 48-6. It's on the board. I know Westwood. He got 48-6 on the board. We
Mm,
ain't forget what y'all did to us last year. We ain't
mm.
forget 48-6. All them kids, you see them smiling on social media. They ain't smiling, they going to work. They going to work. 48-6 is on that big board. And let me tell you, we hate Purple Week has begun. Let's go, Providence. Let's go. Let's go. One more game, fellas. Let's go. Make them put some respect. This is the last thing that need to put some respect on that Providence. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Well, the big thing for this game to me is the weather. Rain, is going to play a big factor in this game. Ardrey loves to throw it, with Mr. Curtis and those receivers. We saw this, in the highlights in the first half last week against AC Reynolds. He completed a nice deep ball to Brevin Caldwell. He had another deep one to Quentin McCall. I'm gonna get to those comments in a second, guys.
I always say we not done cheating. I love it. I love it. I can take, but they don't know. One day people gotta understand about me. I could take it. Right. I ain't saying they don't beat y'all 48-6. Y'all beat us 48-6 last year. It's on the board.
Man.
It's on the board. Put them up. I'm just telling you, hey, y'all gotta play them. Let's go.
So obviously, like I was saying, if it rains, and it'll affect that game in a big way. You have to, get used to throwing the wet ball and, trying to do that. The run game for Providence, we saw it last week with Jamar Price and big offensive line.
And Nathan Hajuk.
Yep, and Nathan Hajuk. Yep, absolutely. It was steady. Quarterback Holland Stallings completed some big passes when he needed to. Most notably, the one over the middle to Luke Bailey, setting up their first score of the game. That's going to be a big key too. When they get into third and medium or third and long, Providence is going to have to be able to hit those timing passes for those first downs to keep the chains moving. You got contrasting styles. You do have two very good defenses here. Has the potential to be low scoring. I think the rain would hold it down even more so from the RGKL standpoint of things. But comments. Oh my goodness. All right. So illustrious. Mr. Curtis thinks you on crack.
I can take it. I'm not on crack. I don't do that.
Brevin Caldwell tuning in. He just said that with the laughing emojis. Miss Moten, last year repeat. Mr. Richardson, we not Dub C.
I can take that.
Mr. Taylor, O-line for Providence will be ready. I'm feeling the juice here.
Hey,
All
but
right.
one day people gotta realize, hey, I can take it. We not Dub C. We'll see. Hey, we don't write that down. I'm gonna call my head coach and I'm gonna make sure we know. And AK said they're not Dub C. We don't want you to be Dub C. I want you to be AK. But y'all go out there and y'all fumble the bag. I will have some comments for y'all on the next show. So if y'all win, I clap it up because I love them AK because Moten over there, he's balling. There's some good players over there. Jack Curtis is one of my favorite quarterbacks. When he was at the camp, I told him, I said, boy, you throw a good ball.
Yes.
You gotta go out there. Hey, all I'm saying is them kids at Providence, it's a revenge tour. Y'all stop the tour, hey, go get it. Y'all whooped us last year, 48-6. That's all I'm saying. That's that's fueling that team. Now, me not being there, I'm still don't support them boys. Them my boys. I love them kids. I love them AK kids. But I gotta go with my guy. That O-line is playing lights out right now. The D-line playing right now. Eli Watson. This kid, y'all knew that kid. Hey, y'all knew that kid. Pep know a lot of because I was telling him about Eli last year. But hey, just play ball. Play ball. Go. I want to see a good game. I want to hear about a good game. And hey, I'm gonna ride with my gut. I'm going with the Providence kids.
All right, good deal. So other games on the screen, Hopewell, West Charlotte at Waddell. Billups, you got anything to say about that one?
We're not playing Waddell. We're playing Huff.
Oh, at Huff. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Okay.
I respect what Hopewell does. You know, Hopewell is they hit on all cylinders. They're a tough team. They don't get a lot of respect like they're supposed to get. But hey, I get it. Us, we just gotta come play our game. We haven't been playing our game lately. We get that offense going. Hey, we just stop all these, 48 points we've been getting beat by. You gotta take it. As a coach, I could take it. We gotta do our part. We gotta do better, and we gotta get them boys ready. So that's why I say when people say, "Hey, we're not Dub C," or they talk about the scoring output, hey, I could take that. But one thing about Coach Bills gonna do everything in his power to make sure them boys ready to play on Friday. So
There you
hey,
go.
we got you. Looking forward to a good game.
All right, good deal. Lake Norman North Mech. Obviously, this is a big game for Lake Norman to stay, in the playoff chase. We're gonna look at that here in just a couple minutes. Mooresville, Mallard Creek. I had a comment up here from Kyle. Let me go back to it here. Where are we? Okay.
That's an interesting game.
Yep, Mooresville clicking the way we have been lately may make the Creek game interesting. So, yeah, that is.
Well, Joe got him running. He got him clicking. He got him clicking. Like, I know everybody's shot that Mooresville beat us like they did. But y'all got to remember, Mooresville got running back, baby. And they run the ball hard. And it was cold. That's not an excuse, but I'm just telling you. Cold weather ball, you got to tackle. And we didn't want to tackle that running back. And they went off. So that's what happened. It's just simple mathematics. And the quarterback, he's growing up. That quarterback's growing up. He's throwing the ball good now. So, hey, don't be shocked. Y'all, everybody say what you want to say. Mooresville is a good team. There's a lot of good teams that are clicking. Like North is still a good team. But that's a tough game they're playing at Lake Norman. Well, Lake Norman coming to them. But, hey, you got to be like, all these games, even that Hardin-Berry game, you don't know. I don't know. Hardin got pieces. They're not a terrible team. There's not a lot of terrible teams. It just, hey, you clicking.
And that is the Battle Allegheny. Under normal terms, that game would be pretty close to being sold out. But where we are right now, it's we can't get there. But obviously, a lot of pride for Harding. They don't have many seniors. But everyone in that rivalry comes to play, and I tell you, it's sports hate, but there is hate between those two schools.
Yeah,
I can attest to that for sure. All right, second screen here, guys. I'll give you a shot. OP, what game stands out to you?
The South Met West Met game stands out to me. I'm messing with Joe when I say this. It's kind of different. It's kind of different when you go and you're a head coach and you're playing a high school that you're a living legend at, that you played at. That feeling is just weird to be back in that atmosphere, to be back at West Meck, on that field and playing against your old high school. So that'll be a game to see. You never know what you're gonna get out of West, and South Meck is clicking right now. So, it's just gonna be a weird feeling for Joe. So I wish him the best of luck. He's a great guy, and I love him to death, and I wish him the best of luck. Both teams, I wish him the best of luck. But I know that game is gonna be real emotional for him as a head coach.
Good point. Producer, what game stands out to you on this?
I'm gonna go Porter Ridge at Hickory Ridge. Hickory Ridge season started out great. Knocked out a few wins. Then they kind of hit the rough part of their schedule. Had some tough ones. Got back on the winning track last week. So I'm looking to see if they can continue that winning trend because they're like we've said, they're right on the cusp. So I'm looking to see how they continue and how they keep going up.
Yeah, I had it on there twice in the Cabarrus County, so that was my first strike. I'm sorry. All right. Queen, what game stands out to you here?
Yeah, I'm actually with the producer on this one. I feel like he's in my head. I'm gonna go Porter Ridge, Hickory Ridge as well. Being able to watch them and their offense and see how they got going late in that game that I saw them playing a couple weeks ago. I want to see if they can continue this and how far it can take them. The rest of this season.
Good deal. Illustrious, what game stands out to you here?
Probably that Marvin Ridge and Catholic game. Just to, Catholic, they sweep by Cutcliffe like that. So, I'm pretty sure they'll clean some things up. It was an emotional game for them. So that game really standing out because Marvin Ridge, they got one of the best O-line coaches in the state. Coach Leg over there, he do a great job. So, I just expect Marvin Ridge to come out there and play ball.
All right, good observation, man. I tell you, for me, it's kind of tough here. I would say, there was a nice story done by Channel 3 on East Meck. I shared it on Twitter. If you haven't seen that, make sure you go check that out. It's well done by Nate Wimberly, does Football Friday Night over there. Talking about Coach Forshee and, the fact that, they've been struggling, obviously, with the numbers and everything in that program. But it was a well-done story. They obviously finish up, a tough game at Butler, who's going to be getting ready for the playoffs. But, kudos to those guys, fighting through a tough season, tough situation. And once again, shout out and praise to Coach Forshee and his family, continuing to fight, against esophageal cancer. We love you, man. We love you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You're on back, Coach.
Absolutely. Okay, prediction time. We bringing in Jim and we bringing in Kenneth as well. Rapid fire, guys. Huff at Vance, OP.
I'm taking Vance.
Producer.
Vance.
Queen.
I'm gonna go Vance.
Illustrious.
Vance.
Jim.
Vance.
Kenneth.
I'm gonna buck the trend. I'm going Huff.
Oh, finally somebody bucked the trend. I am going to take Vance because I was there last year and I know how they felt. I think the emotions will be strong, and I think that's going to carry him through here in a very good game. All right, Providence AK, OP.
I'm going with Providence.
He's on the bus. We told you he was on the bus. Producer.
Providence.
Queen.
Providence.
Illustrious.
Providence.
Jim.
Providence all the way.
Woo.
Yes, sir, Jim. Yes, sir.
Kenneth.
The wheels on the bus go round,
Yeah.
round, round, round,
Yeah.
round, round.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow. What do I do? What do I do? I'm on the damn bus too. Providence. All right. Crescent Kings Mountain, OP.
I'm going with Kings Mountain.
Producer.
Kings Mountain.
Queen.
Jesus, Kings Mountain.
Illustrious.
Kings Mountain.
Jim.
Going with the Mounties.
Kenneth.
Once again, it's personal to me. In 1998, Kings Mountain kept me from playing in the state championship.
Hate right there. I like that.
Let it go. Let it go.
God.
Let it go.
Hate. Boy, hey, I love it, Ken.
1998, boy. Woo.
1998, we were 24 minutes away from playing in the state championship, and thinking the Mountaineers got us in the second half.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with Kings Mountain. All right. West Stanley at Mount Pleasant, OP.
Let me go West Stanley.
Producer.
Mount Pleasant.
Queen.
Mount Pleasant.
Illustrious.
Mount Pleasant.
Jim.
I might have to whisper this because I'm from one of those counties. Mount Pleasant.
Kenneth.
I'm going with the grandfather of Cabarrus County, Mount Pleasant, baby.
Mount Pleasant for me as well, all the way. All right, the bonus pick. Pine Lake at Community School of Davidson, OP.
Pine Lake Prep.
Producer.
I've seen them in person. I know what they can do. Pine Lake Prep.
Queen.
Guess I'm going Pine Lake.
Illustrious.
I ride with my guy Trotter. Let's go, Pine Lake. Let's go. Let's go.
Jim.
Community School of Davidson.
Mm.
Ooh.
Kenneth.
I'm going with Pine Lake.
You know, like Brandon said, we saw it up close and in person. The Community School of Davidson did a good job against Mountain Island last week, but I am going with Pine Lake as well. All right, good stuff on the predictions. All right, Duff has something to say here. We all sip the Kool-Aid.
No, I don't drink Kool-Aid, baby.
Drink
Drink
water.
Village
for me.
juices. Village
Is it
juice,
spiked?
baby.
And
Village
then
juice.
and then Mr. Curtis has buckets of slime for us next week. So
I got you, Mr.
hey,
Curtis.
I'm gonna tell you right now, AK, if you win this game, we got something special for you. I promise
Yep.
you.
And y'all win, I was slime myself.
Yes.
We was slime. I was slime.
Yes.
But you know,
All right.
I will not forget how he finds himself.
I'm not proud of myself.
Kenny, you ain't gonna mess that hair up.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right. Now we gotta talk playoffs. So I gotta get my screen up here. So give me 1 second.
Oh man, I don't want to talk no playoffs. Bump playoffs.
Come
on, man.
Phillips.
That door is closed.
You'll never open.
It'll eventually back up.
It don't open up next.
Yeah, better luck next time.
Shoot, your high school is in the same position my high school in too. They looking too for the screen door.
Hey, listen.
Watching the other kids play. They in timeout too, so ha on that. Jack.
Y'all know what it is. No need to.
Oh God, I'm naughty.
You know what? Coach Phillips, you and I can go to the Huff Vance game in the third round, man. Together.
No.
Oh no, first round, you already know you ride with me first round. I'll tell you, you going with me first round again. You heard me? We've been summoned. Me and you have been summoned to go somewhere at the first round game.
Uh-oh.
We have been summoned.
If it's Kannapolis barbershops.
Nah, I ain't going to Kannapolis. I ain't going to Kannapolis let my Kannapolis folks with me. Hey, you heard me? I ain't going to Kannapolis let my boys with me because they probably want to beat me up just bad. They want to beat you up. If we don't beat.
I heard they're tough up there.
I heard they want to. We got to go back to back. We got to go back to back, old Batman Robin style up there.
Let me hurry up and get this on the screen.
Kenny, you can be Batman. I'll be Robin.
Oh man. All right. So looking at 4A West. So like we talked about last week on how this playoff stuff works. In the 4A West, top 2 teams in the conference will get the automatic bids. And then after that, you got 5 wild card slots for 4A West, which is, where most of our teams are. But we will look at 3A also. So just so we can take a look here. Right now, and of course in the IMEC, Huff and Vance are the top 2 teams. SOMEC right now, Providence is slated to win the conference. Southwestern is Myers Park. And then you see some other teams from across the state, in different conferences, slated to win their conferences right now. So second place, you see what we got. Olympic right now is slated to get that second bid out of SOMEC. Butler out of the Southwest. And then the loser of Huff and Vance will get the second, bid. And then in the wild cards, this is what you got. Argykill right now at 4-1 in the conference. This is a big game, not only for them from a conference championship standpoint, but you don't want to slide to 4-2 in the conference because you see what's behind them. You got these 1-loss teams right here, and then you could fall down into this last line where you get into Hickory Ridge, Lake Norman, or Porter Ridge with 2 conference losses at the last team in the playoffs. So that lets you know how hard it is to get into the playoffs this year. And then, of course, this is from Nick Stevens at High School OT, who does an awesome job.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you see he has the first 10 teams out. You see some good teams right here are going to miss the playoffs. And typically in North Carolina, we haven't had this in a long time. And Kenneth shared their story earlier about 95 Concord Spiders being 9-1 and not getting in the playoffs. So, it's kind of a flashback to those days where, and I know you, Jim West, can talk about, how it used to be in the playoffs a lot back in the 80s and 90s and all that.
Back in the '70s, you had to win your conference to get to the playoffs. You had 3 rounds from '73 to '76. They finally went to 4 rounds in '77, and then '81 they had this ridiculous thing where you had 4 rounds in Division One, and then you had like 2 or 3 rounds in Division Two,
Oh wow.
which was just bizarre to state the least. Then they finally went to 5 rounds in '85.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, the playoffs in North Carolina have always been, something crazy. But those are the teams we're looking at right now that have playoff potential. If you don't see your school on here, then you ain't going, or you don't have a chance of going.
Can I just put it out there that there's a good chance that either Vance or Huff is going to be traveling in the second round? It's because everything is based off of straws at this point.
Right.
Let me just put it out there. I don't want to be a team up in the Raleigh area that has Vance or Huff driving in my home stadium because they're going to get beat by 40.
Oh, Kenneth.
Tell them.
All right.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
Oh, come on, man. That's the anti-eastern part of the state bias you have. I'm playing with you. You're pretty much right. Probably the best team in my area is Rolesville. I think Rolesville would play with the top 5 teams in Charlotte for 3 quarters. After that, I still think Charlotte's got the best 5 teams, or 5 of the best 7 teams out of the state.
Well, Jim, I mean, you're up in that area. Talk to us about this Panther Creek team out of Triangle 8 4A. It looks like they could be, the best team out of that conference.
I've been to a couple games over there. I have not been out anywhere this year. Been playing very close to the vest, but Panther Creek, I guess, was about 2017 or so. They didn't win a game, and then I saw them play again in 2018. They had their head coach went to UNC. Actually, it was one of my classmates, or went to the same years I was there, and he brought in a different type of mindset there. This doesn't surprise me. Panther Creek is up there. I will say this though, Panther Creek, they might finish 5th in the IMAC.
Oh wow! Okay,
so that has more to do with IMAC or the Southwestern Conference. It's just more about the talent in Charlotte than it is about Panther Creek.
So Kenneth, to your point, there you go. You get an angry, Huff or Vance team that's second place coming up there, and they're
gonna be angry regardless. I'm gonna tell you right now. I was talking to a Vance coach. If they don't get that number 1 seed, hey man, y'all in for a long play.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's a good point, Billups, because we talked about it last week. Now, it's not guaranteed that if you win your conference like Vance, they could be as low as a number 7 seed.
Yes.
Because all the number 1 conference winners are seeded by random draw by the NCHSAA.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's a good chance that both Vance and Huff plays an away game in the second round.
And you gotta look, and you gotta think about Butler. Butler is, you don't want to play Butler either. Butler hitting right now. They're hitting.
Probably going to be a small 4A team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll speak to that here in a second. Jim, real quick, you said Rolesville, you think is the best team coming out of the East here?
I think it's the best team in the Triangle.
Oh, Triangle.
Yeah,
okay.
I heard good things about Rolesville.
They have a really good coach. Martin Samick has just done an incredible job. Anywhere he's gone, he did a great job at Parkland, and he took on a team, Southwestern Randolph. If anybody knows that area, they know that Southwestern Randolph is a very hard place to win. You just don't have the talent that's right there. And he did probably as good as any other coach has over there. Did a great job at Parkland. Parkland went I think at least 1 if not 2 years where they didn't even win a game. So big fan of Samick.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Parkland team. I will tell you, in 2014, we went up there and scrimmaged them from Harding, and you're accurate in what you say.
I'm glad I have. Every so often I am.
So Richmond's not the favorite coming out of the East?
I'll take Rollsville over Richmond. To be honest with you,
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay.
that's uh, I just like what's coming out of Rollsville. I think they're underrated. To be honest with you.
Oh
Mhm.
wow. Okay. So that's just a little preview of what we could see in the West in the championship game. We'll take a look at 3A real quick before we start looking at the 4AA and single A split that we were just alluding to right there. Let's take a look at the West here in the 3A. All right, so Crest Kings Mountain they play this week. Obviously, the winner will win the conference championship, get number 1 seed there. Watauga, we don't talk about Watauga, down here too often, but once again, another strong season from those guys, and you got to go up to that mountain. Thank goodness it's April, because
Oh yeah.
yeah, you go up that mountain and it's snowing. It's usually tough, this time of year, but a little different right now. Um, A.L. Brown, we obviously talk about Weddington. Is pretty much locked up their conference championship. And despite the loss to RGKL last week, AC Reynolds, is the conference leader in the Western Mountain 3A. So, like we've said earlier, I think Kings Mountain, is definitely probably the strongest, or Weddington. Cannot Weddington, of course. But those two look like the strongest out of that grouping right there. And then go with the second place bids. Kenneth, to your point about J.M. Robinson being a dangerous team. He's right there in the out of South Piedmont 3A. And then, of course, Catholic or Marvin Ridge. Now, we said that was going to be a big game. If
Mhm.
Marvin Ridge pulls the upset, it's going to be tough for Catholic because you see down here, they only 4 wild card bids in the 3A West. So that's a big game for Charlotte Catholic. Could be sitting on the outside, depending on how these other games shake out here. Um, so then wild card bids. Statesville always has good athletes. Alexander Central runs an offense, that's tough to stop, especially that running the football. Dudley, you never every time you see Dudley in the bracket, you get nervous
Yeah.
because of how well coached that program is throughout the years. So you know, Kenneth in the 3A. What are your thoughts, man?
There's good football that's being played. I mean, you've got some really, really good football teams that are traditionally strong, like Watauga and Weddington as of late. Of course, Crest and Kings Mountain. West Rowan is playing good football right now. I think
Yeah,
they're playing surprisingly good football right now, considering they have a new coach and new staff. AC Reynolds. I mean, those are good football teams right there. Those are going to be tough teams to play against in the second and third rounds, especially.
absolutely. Anybody else got some 3A thoughts in the West?
See you next year.
That is true. That is true. Jim, in the East out of 3A, what teams impress you?
Let's look at here. Southern Durham is always a strong athletic team. They do not have the talent as they did last year. They had a couple of players, I believe, leave early. I think they were in Tennessee, if I remember right.
Oh, okay.
Havelock is hard to go against this time of well. I always think about this time of year, but now it's March or April, so we've never had this time of year.
That's true.
Cleveland, they've always had a lot of talent. They can throw the ball, they can run the ball. Western Alamance, I believe they're undefeated. They had a very good game against Eastern Alamance. Pretty much handled Eastern. If I had to pick a team out there, I would say Havelock and probably Havelock or Western Alamance are probably your two strongest of the schools. Although I
Okay.
will say this, Lee County, I can't go against Lee County either. I just don't know if they have enough, if they've had enough good games to really be prepared for the playoffs.
Makes sense. Yep. Looks like 4-0. Looks like they've, might have missed a game or two in there. The rest of those teams right there, Is there anyone in that group that could, sneak up on somebody?
I think Eastern Alamance can always sneak up on somebody. They have one of the best coaches in the state, Coach Kirby,
Mm-hmm.
great fella. Uh, if I had the other one I would say possibly would be Clayton, but I don't think you're going to have many dark threats in the East.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. So, there's your playoff look right there from CFI. Kyle wanting to chime in. Don't sleep on Tabor. That's a really solid team that I think can make a deep run this year.
I agree.
You know, they're always tough. They're always a tough team for sure. But it's that time. And you know what that means. It's time for CFI's favorite host, not me, to host the favorite segment on CFI. Here we go.
Well, Pat, you said you have two of them tonight, so we're going to start off with your first one. Who you got tonight, Pat?
All right, I'm going to be nice starting out. My first and original slime before this morning is about 5 a.m. drivers. I have to be at work at 6 a.m. every day, it seems like. I've worked 19 days in a row. I'm finally off tomorrow, and I'm going to be, relaxing a little bit. But these guys, there's hardly anybody on the road. I got to take 85 to 485 to Ballantyne. I live out in, Gaston County. I just don't understand why y'all get in the left lane and decide to drive 60. I'm already mad because I'm up so early and you're getting in my way. And all I'm going to ask you right now, move out the damn way. People got stuff to do, man. And y'all sitting there creeping along. And then, I try to get in the right lane, people merging in, cutting you off. I just, just slime you and get you out the way, man. Hope you slide on the slime and go on somewhere, man. 'Cause you just get on my nerves. That's all I got to say for now.
In driver's ed, we jump on the interstate and we talk about what that left lane is for and what those right lanes are for. And we talk about that little thing that sits on the left side of your steering wheel as well that a lot of people don't know about, Pep. I hear you on that one. Producer Brandon, who we sliming this week?
All right, so my slime this week has a contingency on it. It's contingent of some more information coming out. But if he did it, if he's guilty, I gotta slime Deshaun Watson because we were all set. Panthers are gonna, I feel like it. The front runner gonna trade for him. He was gonna come here and always gonna be well. But no, here comes all this stuff, and it's contingent. I know some more info. I'm not gonna slime an innocent man, so to speak. But if he's guilty, if he's done these things, he's even if he never serves a day in jail, he's really done a lot of damage. Beats let him go today, Nike, among other things. So he's losing out on a lot of money. So like I say, it's contingent. If it comes out all this is false, then I'll put the lid on the slime and I'll walk out the room. But if it comes out he did it, as soon as he leaves out the courtroom, I gotta slime him.
I mean, is it strange that he has so many personal masseuses? Who has that many personal masseuses? That's just strange to me. Let's see. OP coach, who we sliming this week, man?
I'm a slime all the coaches that don't like to coach in cold weather. You got to be able to coach in all the elements, whether it's hot, cold, sleeting, raining. It's some coaches that don't like to coach in cold weather. They run and go find hot chocolate and go get coffee and throwing extra clothes. I almost froze to death up top calling the game, and it's the first time I ever called the game up top on the press box. And I commend any coach, and I say I apologize for not taking and not appreciating what you do when you call a game in the cold weather on the top of the press box when the wind is blowing like it was last Thursday night.
True that. It was cold last week. Good night. Well, we know the Queen always has at least one or two people she's ready to slime. So, Queen, who you sliming this week?
First of all, I just want to say this about Deshaun Watson. I don't want to believe that he did that. There's a lot to that. So I'm just hoping that, things turn out right. But if not, then, he definitely deserves a good slamming. But anyway, so as you all know, the Panthers earlier this week got Sam Darnold in a trade. And, I'm going back to my Panther fans once again. And if I have to slime y'all one more time, I'm probably going to start calling people out individually. So I need y'all to get it together. So now all of these people are going on there with these memes talking about Sam Darnold and all this other stuff. And, as y'all know, I am a ride or die Carolina Panthers fan. I ride with whoever my team is riding with. And I think that there are some good things that are going to come from Sam Darnold. We talking about quarterback competition. We talking about receivers that he had in New York that are now in Carolina that could possibly benefit from him. So I'm just, I'm sick of y'all hated on Teddy Bridgewater when he was here. Y'all want to get him out of here. Now y'all hating on Sam Darnold. And it's like, it's making my head spin. I'm getting whiplash over here. So y'all all getting slimed.
I'm going to go ahead and do my slime. I'm sliming the freaking Carolina Panthers. We haven't got rid of them yet. We have picked up the white version of Teddy Checkdown Bridgewater, except all this dude does is throw interceptions. He threw 11 interceptions last year, 9 touchdowns. We didn't get better. We just got rid of all these people. We just saved all this cap space money to pick up Sam Darnold. Carolina Panthers, I don't know what you guys are doing. Federer, whatever the name is, GM, owner, get out of here with that bull jab. Man, what are you talking? Sam Darnold? You think that Sam Darnold is going to help us get to the Super Bowl? You think that Sam Darnold is going to help us win? Y'all realize the 2 quarterbacks that we've talked about picking up this year, both of them won a combined 4 football games last year? Get the heck out of here. Oh, my goodness. Queen, I know that you're dying to get on here. Pep, just put the Queen back on here because she's going to be fired up. You know what? I don't ride or die with – now, I'm the Panthers, but I'm a freaking adult. I ain't riding or dying like no 8-year-old kid. Like, that's my team, and I ain't going to say nothing about them.
No, here's the thing. But what you got to understand is that Sam Darnold, when he was in New York, was in probably one of the worst front office situations and coaching situations that he could have been in. He has a better offensive coordinator. He has a better coach. He has so many weapons on offense, CMC, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. And if we get a good tight end in the draft, like, you're looking at an arsenal. Now, our offensive line, we're going to have to work on if y'all want him to do anything. But I really think that he could come to Carolina and do some things. And with everything that everybody said about Teddy Bridgewater, y'all better start giving somebody a chance, because I'm like, listen, we can't just hate on every quarterback that comes into Carolina. I'm just saying.
Well, I hope we pick up 3 offensive linemen between now and the first game, because we are short right now. It's like Philip Johnson. He's the J.M. Robinson guy. It's like J.M. Robinson in week 1. They had no offensive line because of the mess of the season. They had to play with all linebackers and defensive line. Who is going to block for anybody?
And that's my point. It's like you can't expect people to do things with a lack of what we need. If we need an offensive line, that's what we need to work on in this draft. Everybody talking about, oh, we need to get another quarterback. We need to do this. No, we need to get somebody to protect this quarterback before we can do anything else, period.
Can I just keep it real? I'm still salty they got rid of Curtis Samuel. Can I just keep it real with you?
1,000%. I am that. Listen, there are a lot of things that I try to stand behind Carolina with. That was not one. That was definitely not one. So
unbelievable. Thanks, Sheree. Jim West, first time on the slime. If you don't know, usually about 9 o'clock, my wife starts sending me text messages saying, calm it down, I'm trying to go to bed. So this is my quiet voice. But Mr. West, your inaugural slime, who are you going after this week?
Well, I'll take this back a little bit. On April 1st, on April Fool's Day, my father calls me up around 10:30, and he says Roy Williams is retired. I'm like, yeah, whatever, Dad. April Fool's Day. And he's like, no, I'm serious. He's retired. He's gone. He's history. Who do you think is they're going to hire? And I had to check on ESPN because I thought Dad was just pulling my leg, and realized that he was true. And first thing I said was Hebert Davis. I like Hebert. I think he'd be the right guy. And my dad agreed. And then I had another call from somebody, and this person was already drunk. They were like, "Oh, this is the worst thing that ever happened to Carolina basketball." I'm like, "Oh, you don't remember the Matt Doherty days?" This guy Hebert's just too nice a guy. He can't be the coach. I was like, "Oh, Matt Doherty wasn't a nice guy," and you saw what happened. Oh, he has no experience as head coach. And I'm like, "Oh, neither did Coach Guthridge. Oh, neither did Dean Smith. They did pretty good." I got to slime the Carolina fans and the alums, and I'm a Carolina alum and a fan. But you guys, you just annoyed the heck out of me this last week, and you get slimed for that.
I like it. I like it. Coach B, the illustrious one, the one and only. Who are you sliming this week?
Hey, let's don't go ahead. Sharice, don't get mad. Yo, I'm sliming the Panther organization. Y'all have made some of the worst decisions this offseason I ever seen in my life. You let your backup, your insurance policy, go with your running back. CMC, you got banged up. And that running back you let go, he did a lot for you. And you let Curtis Samuels go. And then y'all make a trade for the reincarnated version of Jake Delhomme. I have never laughed so hard in my life. You can say what he did with Robbie Anderson. He still lost a whole lot of games with Robbie Anderson. And he really was not in a lot of bad coaching situations. Yeah, Adam Gase, you give him Adam Gase. But his old coach just won the Super Bowl. So y'all saying he left a bad situation, and this is a good situation in Carolina. I'm not a Carolina Panther fan, but y'all ownership is terrible right now. Like, it's terrible. Ever since Mr. Richardson retired, it's terrible. You let Cam go. Y'all ain't want Cam go. Y'all got Teddy. It's not y'all trying to get rid of Teddy Bridgewater and all that good stuff y'all were talking about him. And now y'all telling the man he can seek a trade or you could be the backup. Like, what sense did that make? You don't have an O-line. You're about to do what Cincinnati Bengals about to do. Cincinnati Bengals fans about to be upset because y'all go take that wide receiver. Your quarterback don't get banged up again. Guys, it's just like I tell people when you play Madden. If you don't have a good solid O-line or a D-line, you're not going to win no games. And you put anybody back there, I go be quarterback of the Panthers right now, and I'm going to be terrible. So, no, I don't think Sam Darnold's going to make a big difference. It's going to look like Jake Delhomme. He's going to look Robbie Anderson down the whole field. So if that's what you want, hey, you like it, I love it. But, hey, that organization, that's not me talking junk about nobody. It's Panther fans who are saying the same thing. That organization, they're not making good front office decisions. Like, they should be making trade for a line. They need a line. We're trying to get a quarterback. Teddy was not bad. He was running for his life. So when you're running for your life, that's what you'll get. So, hey, and y'all compare him to Tannehill. Tannehill went somewhere where a big-time running back. CMC, he's not the traditional running back. He can be. But, you want to get him out in space, let him catch the ball and stuff like that. But you don't compare CMC to that tank in Tennessee. So, hey, Carolina Panthers organization, get it together. Y'all probably talk about my Rams organization. Hey, we made it to the playoffs. Y'all ain't going to the playoffs anytime soon. Y'all need to fix that one line.
Wait, Coach Bill, I just want to make sure I understood something. You said that if they put you behind the Carolina Panthers offensive line,
I don't be running for my life too.
Terrible.
Yeah, we don't be running. You can put anybody back there. You can put anybody there.
But you're trying to say that if they put you behind the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, that you wouldn't be.
I'm gonna make some passes. Damn, I got time. I got good 6 passes in this gun right here. But I'm great at handing it off. I got Zeke back.
You are every defensive skill player's coach. Watch this. And you got your little guys doing your little back.
You see me at pregame. You seen the pregame cannon. You seen the pregame cannon. I was out there sitting, and we played, y'all had the sleeve on, everything, launching it.
I know what quarterbacks coaches do. Y'all just want to throw that thing as far as you can. Y'all just want the offensive coaches.
No, I can put it. Whatever route you need me to run. You want to throw that pole, this corner, arrow? I can do it. It get there.
Well, Pep, Pep, I gotta say, I cannot confirm this, Pep, but I have. There's rumored that the FCC has tuned in to our show, and let me just put this out there: so the FCC won't let me be or let me be me. So let me see. But Pep, man, I heard you got a good one coming up, so you're gonna finish this off like old time. What you got, Pep?
All right. If you have a problem with me or anyone on this panel that works for Charlotte Football Insiders, you come to me as a man and you talk to me about it so we can talk about it as men and settle it. You will not go and try to act like we did something that was not becoming of a great media representative of kids. I'm not going to get into all the details about it. I told a couple select people about it because they were concerned, and I appreciate that. But I'm going to tell you right now, everyone on this show is doing this for kids. We don't do this for us. We're not out trying to be something to make a name for ourselves. That's not why we do this stuff. Everyone here works a full-time job. Everyone here takes time out of their busy schedule to promote kids. That's what Charlotte Football Insiders is all about. A lot of people promote kids in similar ways. We're in a pandemic. You can't go out to schools, which is what we've done in the past, and interview coaches and interview players. You have to do it in a safe manner on social media. We use this platform. We do the interviews on multiple streams of media. Instagram, this platform right here, Facebook. No one out here takes things and steals them from somebody else as if it was something that you came up with and created all on your own. Since 1979, ESPN has been doing exactly what we do. Taking videos, analyzing them, breaking them down to help promote sports. All I'm going to say is this. When I come to you as a man and ask you what the problem is when you make a comment on a video about a kid that kid could take personally, and you don't respond, that tells me all I need to know about you. And I promise you this, the next time that happens, it will not be a pretty thing. You do it the right way, you promote the kids, and you speak to me and my people as men or ladies if you got a problem. And don't you go blasting us anywhere else, because I promise you it's going to be a problem if it happens again.
That's a great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. From the rest of us at Football Focus Weekly, have a good night.